just honestly respect Dinzbags a little more. Like, I think that Dinzbags made a pretty good adaptation from game one to game two. They realized that Nunu was banned in the second phase of ban phase, so they decided to take Nunu's second pick, which is why that Nunu was allowed to come out. I think if Foreman want to win this game, they're probably they didn't ban Nunu.
They or Bard.
Um,
Bard.
or
Yeah.
Bard for that matter. Um,
Oh.
I
All right, I'll
think
see you guys
maybe
next
they
week. Dinzbag won this one. Thanks for
Yeah.
watching, everyone. Stay safe. Stay. No, I'm kidding. But definitely not what you want to see from the draft from George Foreman's Grill or just Grill, as you have so eloquently spelt out their whole name. The biggest brain from Kang when designing these lobbies. Um, what do you think? But as of this point, what does George Foreman need to do now that they've given Luminex the Bard? What is their out for dealing with this Bard and dealing with the rest of Dinzbags?
I think. Wait, what was that? Oh, Lulu. Okay,
Oh,
well, it's probably gonna be a Nunu to match Hecarim, yeah,
Mhm.
and then probably gonna be the Kaisa once again for Din's bags. Seemed to work
He
out
has
last
the
time.
Ezreal open to pick this time.
oh yeah, this time.
There it is.
Oh.
I think Grill really needed, or George Foreman, excuse me, really needed to put that priority onto the Ezreal there instead of the Lulu. Ezreal's been, I guess, probably the most contested pick in this series so far. He's been 100% of games. And
Yep.
Dinzbag does have a mean Ezreal on him. So we're gonna have to see Zizzers on something that we haven't seen him before this series, and Vayne is the pickup.
Yeah.
Lulu Vayne might just be the tools they need in order to outplay Dustin Campbell on this Nunu and outplay Dinzbag on the Ezreal. That's definitely going to be a spicy pick in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, why not put Zizzers on a hyper carry? He seems to be in the zone so far this series. Lulu picked up being able to enable Vayne quite a bit, and I just think that there's definitely a lot of things that can go right as long as they don't fall too far behind to the Nunu. I think Condemn is a pretty good tool to knock Nunu out of his snowball if it hasn't already been built up from halfway across the map. That being said, Vayne definitely gonna be able to melt some boys if
Mm.
she's allowed to roam free.
Yeah, and interestingly, George Foreman's grill's bands haven't changed at all this series. They've been the same order, the same exact 5 bands every time. Not really a lot of adaptation. I guess George Foreman Grill confident in their original game plan. We're gonna see what their pick here is. I'm guessing it's gonna be a top laner. Gonna want to likely pick a tank like they have been, and keep the counter pick for the mid lane. We'll see though. But what do you think Dinsbag's other picks are going to be here? Are you expecting more of the same in the mid and top lane, or are you expecting something a little bit more, little different?
Ooh,
Ooh,
Azir coming out. Wouldn't be surprised to see another Jax pick here. I think that being able to counter strike the Vayne gives him a little bit more credibility and
mm,
it's a bit more staying power. I'm gonna opt for the Tryndamere, same as last game. No surprise there, honestly. Worked pretty well last game. Was able to stay even, and probably the Gnar pick coming out for next or here. It did pretty well in the last game early on,
mm,
and with the Azir Sharima shuffle, definitely gonna set up a little bit more interesting Gnarlties for sure.
mm.
But we'll have to see what they go with here.
There is. I think I'd prefer. I definitely prefer a tank because there is so much damage on the side of George Foreman Grill. They heard you say hyper carry and they got a little bit. What the?
Whoa.
It's a Lulu top.
Whoa.
Let's go,
Oh,
baby.
Lulu top, baby, the greatest flex of all time. No one's
Get
ever seen it
out.
coming. That's what you know. I We haven't seen Lulu top in a long time, but if there was a team to have two supports on, it's a team with two hyper carries and a hard dive champion. Hecarim Yumi is going to be disgusting. Hecarim Azir, or excuse me, Yumi Azir even is going to be incredible. A lot of synergies coming out from the side of George Foreman Grill, but on the side of Dinzbags, there's a lot of the same style of get down in the mud with me. We're gonna mud wrestle. Kang, what are your thoughts on these teams?
Yeah, I really like the Lulu Flex. Fooled me. We did actually see Lulu top played quite a bit at Worlds, the Academy League of the Manitoba Esports League, of course,
Yeah,
but
Lost League.
making its way to the main stage in this quarterfinals match, honestly, really good. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that Trinamir can't ult when he's a squirrel, so
I
Mm-hmm.
think he
that's
can.
going to be
I
extra
don't think he
exciting
can.
if
Yeah.
Hecarim is able to get up there. And obviously, some pretty crazy late game scaling from Grill.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Okay,
It,
okay, guys. Hear me out.
do not buy Ninja Tabbies.
Okay, well, that we've learned. We've learned from
Okay,
game
I
one.
thought that's what the
Yeah.
question was going to be, but
No,
yes,
no,
continue.
that wasn't the question. That wasn't. No, no,
Actually,
no,
I
no,
would
no.
probably build into Dabbies this game, but
There goes my joke.
Oh my
Continue there.
god. Have we ever seen Yumi top?
I,
Yumi.
I don't think so, and
She doesn't need another champion, right? It's fine.
I think she's honestly, if anyone could do it, it might be Nagster. Um, worst case scenario, it's very funny. Best case scenario, it's super funny. So probably not the Yumi top, but even still, Lulu is gonna fill a little bit of the same role and just annoy the crap out of this Trendemir.
Yeah, that's gonna be such a nasty lane because she can poke him out. Not only can she auto attack him, she can slow him. She can, what's the word? What's the word? The squirrel.
Polymorph.
Polymorph him. Ult herself if he tries to all in her. Yeah, that sounds like a really nasty lane. But we are gonna take our competitive integrity break before getting into game 3 of this quarterfinal. We're excited to see how this turns out of Dinzbags versus George Foreman Grill. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Welcome back, folks, to Game 3 of Dinzbags versus George Foreman Grill in the quarterfinal of the League of Legends Manitoba Esports League playoff. We are very disappointed and much to our dismay to see that it in fact is a Lulu top and not a Yumi top, but we have some exciting things in the Vayne. Chat is hyping up Zizzers on the Vayne pick here, and we'll see if there's a level 1 invade. Looks like there might be.
Lucky for them, Seafarens is going to spot it out, throw his ball at him a little bit. I've been liking what George Foreman has done so far. As the Yumi Q lands onto Dinzbag, Dinzbag getting very low isn't going to have to burn any sums because of the nice save from Luminex landing the Cosmic Binding, but I don't questionable play as to how they saw them run at Dinzbag, and Dinzbag was somehow still caught by that. But all is well that ends well, I guess. Isn't forced to burn anything. But as I was saying, George Foreman Grill has had an invading strategy or a level 1 strategy, I should say. Every game this series looks like they've done their homework. They've got their
yeah,
experiments down.
yeah, for sure. I definitely think that it's a pretty interesting start, actually. Bottom side, Cole start for Ezreal and Dorn Shield for the Vayne. I like that into the Ezreal Bard. Lots of poke coming out from there, giving her a little bit of extra beefiness in lane.
Mm.
Um,
No, you're absolutely right as well. Yumi, obviously not a very strong laner compared to Bards, being a very strong laner. But Yumi is if there's ever been a hyper scaling support, it's definitely Yumi, and Matt mixed on a team with 2 other hyper carries definitely be something you have to be cognizant of in the late game. Nice cosmic binding by Luminex as we're used to seeing. But
Yep.
yeah, it looks like already Zizzers and Bog know that they need to be playing this lane a little bit more passive.
Yeah.
Lumex is so good.
Surprisingly, Dinzbag playing for late, opting for the biscuits as well.
Hmm.
Wait.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they're still a level down. We saw this in the first game a little bit as well. Level down, but Zizzers and Bog never want to shy away from trading back in lane. They are going to get the better hand of it, as the Yumi Q just does go wide, and even still, they're doing pretty well in this lane. Luminex is a little bit chunked out, and Dinzbag is down a pot. And now we see our Vida. Looks like the pings are going down, but they do see him. He's coming in. He's a little bit low again. Dinsbag is going to go forward, and Luminex is going to be able to pick up first blood. Once again, our Vida coming into gank too low, not respecting it, and the double buffs are going to go over to Luminex on his Bard. The last thing you want to see for the bot lane of George Foreman.
Ooh, that's going to be a real tilter. Double buffs on the side of Luminex. If his autos didn't already slow, he's going to love these posting up heals everywhere in lane. He's going to be loving those.
Absolutely. It's definitely a huge boon for the side. For the side of the Dinzbags, already had a pretty good lane. It did look like, they did start topside, so it looked like Arvida was always planning on doing it, but I guess didn't read the situation right. As the stun lands down onto Bog, Electri's going to go down, and he's going to be forced to run away. But they planned for it, and it just didn't go right, is what it looks like. It's Dustin Campbell's hovering around bottom side, but not going to be a gank, getting off.
Ooh.
Never mind.
As Dustin Campbell, I think that interrupted the E from Lucan. Lucan is forced to flash out. No defensive summoner spell. It's going to be 2 more autos. A nice Q from Lucan, but it's going to be the barrier out of Seafriends to keep him alive. Our Vidya now going on to Scoop Lord. Scoop Lord is going to barely get away. And we were talking about this a little bit in the pregame, is Lucan didn't opt for that defensive summoner spell, despite the fact that mid lane has been targeted so much, whereas Seafarens did. And we saw there, Seafarens winning the trade simply based off the summoner spell choice. So great amount of foresight from Seafarens.
Yeah, for sure. And man, already a small CS built up, about 3 CS up. And looking to scale, already has the Cole, so he's not even like he's scaling, man. I don't know what to tell you. And another repeat gank, still has the flash up. We see. Oh wait, I'm watching the wrong stream.
Ah, classic.
Classic. Feels bad. Ooh.
See it.
You hate to see it. We see now Luminex and Dinzbag going a little bit aggressive onto Zizzers. Bog running low on mana. We noticeably though, Lucan did end up going for the Black Seal, as now Dustin Campbell's coming in with a Magic Voyage coming in backside. Zizzers is going to have to flash, but Dustin Campbell, Tokyo City Drift King, is going to knock up Zizzers. Double heal goes down, exhaust goes down. Arvida's on the backside, but he's going to rightly decide to not go in on this one. As we switch over to the top side, we do see Nexter with a little bit of a CS lead, but Scoop Lord, level 6 doesn't go for the dive. Lulu's just too annoying to get, which, I understand. But in overall advantage, 2,000 gold so far at 6 minutes for the side of Dinzbags. A large advantage, but definitely not over yet, because there is such strong scaling on the side of George Foreman. Oh, Scoop Lord now level up. Next, not respecting it, is gonna go and force the unstoppable rage.
Oh, he's cutting it out.
Scoop Lord with the Scoop Lord.
What happened?
That was an auto-pathing moment. I feel that threw his minions in the way, and his pathing got really messed up by it. I'm positive what happened, but even still, a solo kill for Nagster in the top lane in what should have been a death. I guess we'll call it an outplay for a lack of a better term, but not
for sure.
Not what you want to see from Scoop Lord early on.
Wow, that was just beautiful footwork from Nagster. Really putting the team on his back here. But honestly, been playing well all series, I have to say.
Yeah. He definitely has been. You know, he's been kind of the rock that's been consistent. I don't think he's ever not done poorly, but he's never done exceptional. As Arvida is there now, Shrima Shuffle is available in the mid lane. He's going aggressive. Arvida is going to start his charge up. He's going to land tag it, but not too bad. His command Shockwave and Luminex is
No.
always there as we switch to top lane. Wild Growth is going to keep him safe from the clutches of Dustin Campbell. But Luminex being everywhere at the same time 150 gold bounty on the Bard. I don't understand how people aren't banning this champion.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
beyond banning him, you let him go through. You see he's not in bot lane. Don't
Yeah.
assume that he's there, right? Like you have to assume this is Luminex we're talking about. You assume that he's there.
Luminex is like a horror movie monster. Like if you when you turn around, he is behind you. No matter where you are, he is always behind you, and you have to assume he's there.
Yeah.
Absolute monster. Even now, 2v1 zoning them out. Arvida is going to be hitting 6 off of this blue buff and Gromp, though, so we might be looking at a gank bottom lane rather shortly. Oh, and we see even now Lucan roaming down. No flash on Lucan. They don't see him coming. Now they do. He just stepped over the ward now. Or rather, safe as Zizzer's going to go, and they're going to blast cone over, though. Charge comes out from Hecarim. He's going to E a minion and just relentless assault right back on to Dinzbag. That's both stumps from Dinzbag, but now the rest of the team is there. Snowball coming in with Seafarens. Seafarens is going to get condemned into the wall. Lucan Zizzers are fighting for the life on the backside, but it's going to be Bog being blown up now. It's Lucan in a bad spot. Orvidia is coming down. He's going to go onto Dustin Campbell, but the barrier comes in, and he's not going to be able to finish it off with a nice outplay by Seafarens. HP bar is so low on the side of Dinzbags, but no kills, or what rather one kill for the side of George Foreman with a nice individual series of outplays for Dinzbags.
That was just so decided George Foreman grill. Everybody just living with a sliver of health, and they got away with it too. Luminex now 3-0. I am the carry now, he says. You should honestly build Sheen.
Honestly, just go full, Runaan's, Lichbane, whatever those troll bard builds are. He could do it. If anyone could, it's Luminex. And speaking of anyone could, it's Scoop. We're trying to get onto Nagster, but not hard to pin down. Nagster has been all series, but especially this game on the Lulu. His directed camera going all over the place. Sorry about that, guys.
Trying to make us all vomit.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like it's sitting on bot lane now, and as we take a look on bot lane, the side of George Foreman is a little bit behind, but by no means is this insurmountable. Luminex obviously very far ahead from all his kills he's got on Arvida, but Vayne Yuumi is a scaling lane if ever there has been one, so definitely still hope for the side of George Foreman. Well, as Dinzbag gets slowed up, there is no sums on him, but Arvida's in a bad spot. Command Shockwave's going to land. Nunu slows are going to continue to see him as he gets taken down. 0-4. Dustin Campbell on this Nunu, who's been an absolute monster once again, and it is going to be the first dragon of the game going down. It is 10 minutes, which does bode a little bit well for the side of George Foreman. That means that, the dragon is going to appear closer to 30-35 minutes for the soul, assuming that Dinzbag gets all of them. And by that point, you'll have your Azir and your Vayne online. So it does look like Dinzbag is going to be able to end through dragon on the bright side.
Yeah, but I think at this point, if you want to enable Lucan and Scissors to be able to do the damage, you're going to need a front line, and I think that as soon as he went 0-3, he should have transitioned into a Cinderhulk. Would have liked a little bit more tanky. He's probably not going to be the one doing damage anymore. He's already really far behind. I just think he needs to be a body in front of the Vayne, in front of the Azir, so that they can lay down the damage. But with the Phage, he's probably going to look to build Trinity Force still. I don't think that that's the play if you're not ahead, but we'll see how it works out for him.
And Receiva now he comes bottom lane, but not effective. Ezreal Bard so hard to pin down. They've got so much mobility on them, and not a lot of engage on the side of Vayne Yumi. So that another problem for this Hecarim is that he's really the only engage. Like maybe you have a Shurima Shuffle, but that's
Yeah.
that's if your Azir feels like diving in the back line. So he doesn't have a lot of other engage. So with him being so far behind and not being tanky, he might just get blown up right away as soon as he goes in.
Yeah.
See
Man,
now, Zizzers is looking for a
oh,
fight. Lost Chapter comes in. Our Vita comes in as well with a double
there you go.
fear. A nice job, nice outplay from Zizzers and Bog, and that's exactly what you need to see on the side of George Foreman. That's a double picked up. Our Vita was there at the perfect time as well, and a nice contempt by Zizzers means a double kill, and there's some hope left in this George Foreman team.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Scissors once again.
Command Shockwave goes on to Luke, and he is going to EO, but Dustin Campbell's still coming. He is going to not end up diving the tower, probably for the best, although it definitely would have been funny. As Arvida is going to go continue to smack the bot lane tower. Lucan, though, a little bit far pushed up, isn't quite at risk of dying, but even here, Scoopler doing a great job of pushing Nagster in. He isn't down on CS so much, so Scoopler overall been taking this lane rather well. He is down 1 kill, but that was from the gank. But Scoopler definitely done a commendable job in this hard lane.
Yeah, for sure. And Scoop Lord farming it out. Hasn't even gotten his first item yet. I imagine finishes his items. Let's shove in even harder.
Luminex with the Tempered Fate's gonna go in. Oh, but Lucan is here. He's gonna Shrima shuffle them out, but they're gonna get flashed right over onto Arvida. Now it's Lucan not dealing almost any damage to Dustin Campbell. He's gonna get stunned
Oh,
up
man.
twice over and taken down. It's 4-0 now on Seafarens, and Arvida can't even safely farm his own wolves in peace as he gets taken down. That was the flash out of Dustin Campbell. But even still, now Zizzers is looking for a fight now in a 2v3. They do quite a bit of damage. He is finished Blade of the Rune King. Dinzbags is looking to go aggressive. Dustin Campbell starts the snowball, but he quickly abandons the idea. And Zizzers is going to walk back up, but this looks like it might be one of those situations where they're not respecting Luminex on his bar enough. They know he doesn't have Tempered Fate, but Luminex is going to decide better of it, and that's why he's a better bard than I am. And he's gonna magical journey out of there. Zizzers and Bog are going to be able to keep farming in safety, but even still, more pushing of their advantage by Dinzbag. Oh, and Arvida now trying to do his other camp, but he's going to get command shockwaved out again. Now, but Lucan's going to be here to his rescue this time. Arvida just not able to get almost any farm in this game. Dinzbag has been doing such a good job of being all over them. Great job. And Arvida 05, almost 40 CS down. Isn't even done
And
his
he's
5-4
still
CS.
trying to build the most expensive item in the game, man. Like, bro, just take the L and build tank so your carries can carry. Like,
Tons of damage, baby.
Tons of damage, yeah. It is noticeable that he does have the he might have the Yumi on him, so it's gonna be a little bit he does have a little bit of protection in terms of effective tankiness, but even still, I'm right with you. I think he's just gotta build tank at this point. Hopefully he does go for a full tank build, and if he goes for Death Dance, I might just quit being an analyst. But we'll see.
yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
just Trinity Force and Death's Dance is pretty expensive for a guy that's getting invaded every 2 minutes. So,
he's like celebrating right now. He's like, yes, I got my grump. It's over. The pain has stopped. As he gets some very well-deserved wolves is trying, but even as I say that, Luminex is coming in to ruin his day. Doesn't look like he's gonna fully get it. Yeah. Congratulations to Arvida. He is gonna be able to take his wolves. But unfortunately, Dustin Campbell is gonna respond by taking the dragon, the much bigger and better camp. And it is going to be an Ocean Soul this game. Going to be about 30 minutes for that, but Zizzers and Bog here on the win. Ulti comes out from both champions. Exhaust falls as well. Dinzbags flashes and heals, but it's still going to go down. Now Seafarens and Luminex are pushing on to Lucan, but Azir able to shuffle out of the Tempered Fate. So good job not getting that kill there. But now they're looking to the bot lane. It is a 3v3. Lucan's on his way with Seafarers. They're going for the tower. Dustin Campbell is going to be condemned directly into a wall. TP is coming down. Dustin Campbell continuing forward. Absolute Zero is going to go in. Flash forward. Zizzler is going to be taken out now. It's just Bog and Nagster. But Bog is going to be taken out so shortly. Seafarers with a huge command shockwave and so much damage. Seafarers had to TP down just to try for help. But now it's Scoop Lord summoning the Rift and going to be able to take top lane tower. As even when George Foreman tries to make a progressive play, it blows up in their face, leading them to be farther behind.
Really unfortunate play. Rift Herald being dropped in the top lane. Going to be a pretty costly TP from Nagster if this hits. Yup, that's probably going to be an Imp turret. Wait.
Arvida. Well, you know what? On the bright side, Arvida got to farm like 10 minions, which is like that's like a 50% gold increase that he just got. So
you know, I wonder. So, Arvida knocked Rift Herald back with this E.
Yeah.
Does Rift Herald get the charge again if she's that far back?
No,
sure?
no, he just walks up. Yeah, I've grabbed it with Blitzcrank before.
Okay.
It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
I think I'm at least like 30% sure, which is more than normal. But anyway,
right. Okay.
we do see now. Now it's just going to be a little bit of a slow, methodical chokeout from the side of Dinzbags. Baron's not up quite yet, but you have to imagine that's going to be their next objective. You really don't want to give Lucan and Zizzers the time to scale that they need. They're going to be so hard to beat out. There's the Athenes finished on both the supports. As Luminix is a little bit deep, but not too far, as he is supported by the rest of his team. Scoop Lord's in the bottom lane. He's going to be pressuring that. They're going to be forced to take a fight here if they want to at all, but they're too low, and it looks like it is just going to be more taking farm on the side of Dinzbags.
Yeah. I mean, Vayne and Azir but they're not going to be able to take that much damage, even late game. And we have Morella Nomicon and Luden's Echo on the Orianna, 5-0. If they get hit by a shockwave, the game's over, even if they're at full build. Like,
yeah,
it's going to be real tough for them. No real front line for the game. No real engage. They can't really get picks off. It's looking real tough for them, man. I just don't see an avenue where they can come back. Maybe Lulu gets like a miracle polymorph on a key target and they just...
Oh, Shurima shuffle Seafarers and he's very fed. Command Shockwave lands onto 2 though, as Zizzers goes golden, but he's going to be immediately taken down. Arvidia's going to be able to take out the kill on Seafarers, but it's too late, as it's a 1 for 3. You cannot get just a one-man Shurima shuffle. I know that's what you can try your best, but now Scoop Lord's going in onto Nagster. Nagster forced to flash out, and it's probably going to be 2 inhibitors, if not 3 inhibitors here, as the top lane tower is already down, and disaster for George Foreman. They need more time to scale, and at 20 minutes with 3 inhibs down, it doesn't look like they're going to get it.
Yeah, definitely not going to get it.
Optimism. But it's looking so bad. Baron is coming up now. The 3rd dragon is going to be taken by the side of Dinzbags. It is going to be an ocean dragon, if I remember correctly. But they are only able to take 1 inhibitor. But Baron's the next play, and Baron is likely going to be the last play. It is going to be a lot of pressure onto Zizzers and onto Lucan. To force some form of Baron throw here. Lucan, no summoners available. Zizzers will have his flash up by the time it's an issue, but now the ult goes down on the Seafront. Command Shockwave is going to deal 60% of Zizzers' HP. Wild Growth goes on to Zizzers. Zizzers, so many supports here, but now Dustin Campbell's here, but so is Lucan as they go in. Zizzers continues to go forward. The power of having a clean hyper carry with 2 supports. He's still half HP. Dragon is up There is still the new smite though, so it doesn't look like they're going to take it. And
Tryndamere in the top
Scoopboard
lane.
is top lane. Yeah, he has 2 naked inhibitors. This is going to continue to go in. He does a heck of a lot of damage to these tanks, but Lucan's going to try and back for Scoopboard, but he can't 1v1 him. No armor on Lucan means that Scoopboard is just going to be able to turn on him if he needs to, and it looks like George Foreman is going to acknowledge this and force to retreat just to try to get Scoopboard out of there. Arvida's going to go in, but Scoopboard's not going to really care. Big man with a sword doesn't have big problems. He has a bounty being 0, 1, and 0. That's how much he's farmed. And it's another inhibitor down for the side of Dinzbags with Baron on the table after claiming the dragon. George Foreman's going to need some kind of a miracle.
Yeah, and that miracle may come in the form of Scissors absolutely playing out of his mind. Gwynsu's
Yes,
being
Rage Blade.
completed.
If there's a time where they can mount the 1v5 comeback, it's now. There is quite a bit of target ability onto Scissors, but they're going to start the Baron up, and it does look like it does look like George Foreman is just going to give it up. I understand why they didn't go for it, but it looks like they're just going to lose the game solely based off of that. They can't possibly defend the 3 down inhibitors that they're going to have with Baron. But Kang, do you have a different opinion? Do you think they should have just let that one go, or?
It's hard to say. I mean, they can't exactly walk into Severins and Dustin Gamble without vision, for sure. It's going to be hard to win a 50-50 when you have a 2,000 damage smite on the side of Dinzbags. So, honestly, I feel I like what George Foreman Grill did. Honestly, not what you want to do, but I mean,
What
you're not
can
going
you
to take
do?
the 30-90 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't add up to 100, but we're going to walk past it.
I wasn't going to acknowledge it if you weren't going to. But I did want to point something out. The inner support main in me, the inner Yuumi player, because I too hate myself, is noticing that it looks like they're building 2 Ardents. The Aether Wisp and the Forbidden Idol does build an Ardent, and Lulu already has it. So rather golden efficient. If that had been a redemption instead of an Ardent, or even something like a Knight's Vow, which does work on Yuumi, it would have been a much better place. But it is going to be looking like it's going to be the last stand here from George Foreman, desperately trying to clear waves, but Dinzbag is going to take this slow and steady.
Yeah, they're probably going to want to fight before the wave crashes.
Yeah, Lucan doesn't have flash. It looked like he was trying to Shurima shuffle there, but he wasn't quite able, as the turrets are now falling.
Bro, you gotta fight
is trying
before the
his
turrets
best. Our video is going to go in. Excuse me, my screen is lagging. Can't see anything. Now I do. As Scissors gets taken down, but Scoopboard is already now. Why do you not ban this man's Bard, as Bog is the only one left alive, and not for long, as he too gets taken out a clean 4-for-1. They weren't able to beat the Dinzbags, but on the bright side, Dinzbag wasn't positive at the end of the day, which I guess is all you could ask for. But it is what it is, and Dinzbags is going to advance onto the semifinals. Onto the semifinals and defeat George Foreman Grill in a decisive last 2 games.